In Charleston, South Carolina, inside a dark laboratory, a scientist examines a large horseshoe crab. Carefully, he sets the large crab down, pulls out a giant syringe and sticks it in between the plates that create the crab's tough exoskeleton. Slowly, a strange liquid is drawn out of the crab. It's blue. This is horseshoe crab blood, and to many people across the world it's liquid gold. But why? Why is horseshoe crab blood so expensive? Well, it all started a very long time ago in 1912 in pharmaceutical laboratories across the world. Scientists in these labs had a big problem. The labs make millions of vaccines, but they couldn't tell if they were clean. They had no way of making sure that the vaccines didn't have harmful bacteria in them. If a vaccine has bacteria in it and it's injected into someone, the bacteria will get in that person's bloodstream. They could get very sick or die. The labs needed to make sure that their vaccines didn't have bacteria in them, so they invented a test, the rabbit pyrogen test. A pyrogen is something that causes a fever, so you can also call this the rabbit fever test. What is this test? Well, take a look at this photo. There are a bunch of rabbits strapped to a board. This scientist right here took a small sample from a new batch of vaccines and is injecting that sample into this rabbit's ear after the injection. They'll monitor the rabbit's temperature for a few hours. If nothing happens, that batch of vaccines is clean. But if a rabbit gets a fever, that batch of vaccines has bacteria in it. Well, that was the test. It took a ton of time, it took a lot of money, and it took a boatload of rabbits. 400,000 rabbits were used to test vaccines and medical equipment every single year until things changed in the 1950s in a laboratory at the University of Miami. A scientist studying horseshoe crabs noticed something strange. He thought to himself, "That is very strange. If you were Spanish," he might have thought, "and if you were French." So, real quick this year, I'm trying to learn a new language. And it seems like the best way to do that is through an app because they're super convenient and tend to focus on practical information. Go. They also now have hands-free lessons, ESTAs, and they have features where you can practice by having real conversations with the chatbot BuenDS.